I'm going to create a new ASPX file just to demonstrate AJAX, because this is an old project which we have already done, entity framework demo. Inside that, I'm going to create a new project or a ASPX file. Okay, web form with master page. I'm creating with master page purposely, and then I'll create it without master page also. Okay, let me just start with without a master page, then I'll create with master. Let me create a simple new item. I'll just create a web form without master page. Please note this, guys. This is a project which already has master page. I'm going to create one without master page. Okay, so let me create web form. Please note here, there are two web forms available. One is web form, the other one is web form with master page. So this is without one. So let me create that. I'll just name it as demo. Okay, so I'm going to create a simple ASPX file. Please note, it will not have that header, footer, nothing. It is just a plain blank HTML page, okay, or ASPX page. So basically there will be nothing here, no header, no footer. Okay, whatever we put here will be independent. Okay, regular ASPX file. Please remember that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a simple program without AJAX, then I'll AJAXify it. Okay, so let me just start. I am going to keep the design as plain as possible, guys, so that I don't have much to work with. Okay, and please note there will not be any CSS available here because I've not used master page in this particular ASPX. So if I use bootstrap classes here, it will not work. Please remember that. Okay, let me go to the toolbox. I'm going to write a simple program which will, let's say, take the name from the user and print hello for that user. A simple program. Okay, let me just do that. For that purpose, okay, let me go to the toolbox and let me first ask the user, let me just put a label. Okay, a label, and then after that I'm going to put a text box. Okay, let me just put it inside all a table. It'll be better to look at least. Okay, so let me put a table, and here I'm going to put a label here, and here there'll be a text box in which the user will enter a name. Okay, so and then I'll put one submit button, and then I'll put one label. Okay, one more label. So I'm going to put one button, and then I'm going to put one label. Okay, so the program is simple. I'm going to type, this is just to explain how AJAX works, guys, not program. The program is not the focus here, just to explain how AJAX works. All right, so I'm going to put some properties here. Basically what I want to do is the moment you type something here and you submit this button, I want to go to the server, and the server will set this label's content saying welcome that particular person to ASP.NET. That's all, a simple program. Let me just show you how it works. I'll give the ID. I'm not going to use this programmatically, so I'm going to say enter your name. That's all. And the text box is as it is. I'll put a name for that. I'll put txt name. Okay. And the next one is the button. So let me just click on the button and give first property btn submit. Okay. And also the text, I'll keep it as submit or say hello. Okay. That's it. And the last one, this label, I'm going to programmatically take it. So I'm going to put LBL result. Okay. And the text of that right now will be blank. Nothing will be there. I'll programmatically display it here. So in the beginning, when you run, nothing will be there in this result. When you click on say hello, I will change that result, this label by taking the value. So let me double click on the button and let's write the code. It's a very simple code. First thing is I'm going to find that label, what I just created, LBL result. Okay, so I want to get that LBL result dot text is equal to, when you click on the submit button, I wanted to get whatever is typed in the text box and then say hello. So I'm going to say txt name. Okay, I'll concatenate, txt name dot text, whatever is there typed in that text box, and concatenate with that, let's say welcome in front. So I'm going to put welcome, and then the name should come, whatever you have typed, to ASP.NET. Like that, I'm going to just concatenate and put. That's it. This is my simple code. But please note, this is not written in JavaScript. This is written in C#, which means it's a server-side code. Okay, so the moment you click on the submit button in this design, Okay, so what we are doing is we are the moment you double click or click on this in the browser, I'm submitting this page. When the page is submitted to this particular server, the server will change the text of this label to this particular text and then return. So let me run the program and check if it works. Okay, so this is a simple one just to explain how AJAX works, not to explain how Hello World works. Okay, so after that I'll make it into our projects. So before the program runs, I wanted to just recollect how many AJAX controls are there in ASP.NET. There are 5 AJAX controls in ASP.NET, starting with script manager proxy, update panel, update progress, and then timer. Okay, so there are these many applications or these many controls available, and none of them has been used in this particular program right now. And without using AJAX, I'm going to run this program. Okay, and let's see what happens. Please note, since it is a what do you call it's running on the server, the same side, client and server, it will be much faster. But just imagine the same application running on your hosting service and it is running on the internet. That might not be as fast as how your response is coming here. Okay, please remember that. Now let's open this file, and please note that I wanted to just focus on this part. Okay, here this part, if you see, you can see when I'm submitting. So I'm going to just type some name and I'm going to click on say hello. The moment I click on say hello, according to my code, it is supposed to go to the server, fetch the data, which I'm supposed to print in a label which is not written. Right now you can't see any label right now, but when I click on say hello, please note what happens. Quickly it went here. You would have seen this symbol changing. Okay, so it went to the server, brought back the labels text, and labels text was set as welcome, whatever name you have typed, to ASP.NET. That's all we have done. So if I change it this anywhere here, you can see that the refresh happens here. Okay, so you can see that change, guys. Whatever name I've typed there, I wanted to focus on this part and see what happens when I click on it. Okay, it is going fast. The reason is because I'm on the local host. Okay, but this is just a simple program. Okay, there's no much programming involved. There's no much things involved here. But what if I have to go to the database and get the data? Okay, it might not be as fast as this. Okay, it might be a little slow, but still you can see the refresh happening very prominently. All right, so how do I fix this? How do I avoid this round trip, and how do I get this without even the page being reloaded? I want only this part to get updated. Okay, not the entire page. Now when I click on submit, the entire page is reloaded, but you are not able to see that flicker because it is in the local host. And also ASP.NET has a state management technique called view state. So it will retain whatever has been given without changes. That's why we see this so quickly. But then it is not the case in all parts of an ASP.NET web page. Okay, so let's go and let's see how to do that. So how do I make this page or this particular program AJAX enabled? All right, what is the first thing? Okay, let me go and find out all the controls of AJAX. So you can see on the in the toolbox, I'll just focus on that. Okay, please note there is something called AJAX extensions, and I've just opened that AJAX extensions. Please note what are the controls available in the AJAX extensions available in the toolbox of your Visual Studio. Starting with script manager proxy. Then you have update panel, then you have update progress, then you have timer. There are 5 important controls for AJAX extensions. So let me do that. Please note, when should I use proxy? I should use proxy if I'm using a master page concept. In this page where I want to use AJAX, I am not using a master page. So I'm going to only use script manager. So let me go to the ASPX part of that particular code. Okay, let me go to source. Okay, I recommend always script manager to be at the top of your page. Okay, so let me just drag and drop a script manager. Okay, now your system will automatically know that the script manager has been added, and it will reflect it if it is not working. Okay, if it is an error, please do take care of it. So let me just put it inside the head section, or you can keep it anywhere in your page, but only one per page is allowed. Please remember that only one per page is allowed. Okay, so this is one. Now let me just build the solution so that the page is aware of what is happening. Okay, so now that's it. I have done, I put a script manager. Okay, that's only one allowed in one page. Even though you have multiple parts on this particular page, only one script manager is allowed to be in your page. Please remember that. Okay, so it need not be there in the head section alone. There might be some confusion. You can put it in the body also. Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're putting that. Okay, so once your program is compiled and ready, it should understand that this is a script manager, and it will come in the design also. Okay, if you put it in the body, you can see that script manager is there. You need not name it because I'm very sure that only one script manager is going to be there in one page. But if you want, you can name the script manager with the page name itself. For example, you can say demo script manager, file name, then the script manager. Okay, that you can, that I leave it up to you. So I have a script manager in my program. Next thing, okay, I don't want to show a progress. Neither do I want to trigger this after a particular interval. Okay, please note what is update panel, update progress, update timer. Update panel is something which will make sure that the partial page updates are happening. Update progress is something which shows the progress of an ongoing update. Timer is something which triggers auto post back at a particular interval. Okay, I'll show all these three today, but then just focus on one thing now, update panel. Okay, before I drag and drop it and make the code working, please remember what is the logic behind an update panel. Okay, I told you a formula in the last class. Please remember that. Okay, excuse me. The control which triggers the update, okay, and the control which gets affected by the update must be put inside the update panel. Okay, I want you guys to look at this program carefully and understand what is the control which triggers the update. Okay, can you guys put it in the chat box? In this program, what I've done, the simple program, what is the control which triggers the update? Anyone? The button. Perfect. Okay, the say hello button. Okay, this is the button which triggers the update, right? Okay. Now tell me which is the control which gets affected by that particular update. When I click on this, what is the control which gets affected by that update? Label. Perfect. So you guys follow that, right? So which means the control which triggers the update is this, and the control which gets affected by that update is this label. Okay. These two controls must be inside an update panel. That's all is the requirement. Okay, you need not write any code to give establish or give AJAX control here. All you need to do is make sure that the controls which are getting triggered and the controls which are getting updated or reflected by that trigger must be inside the update panel. That's all is the requirement. Now, this program, this particular phase, what you see is very simple, right? Now, there is two controls here. What if I had written something like this? As you type here, okay, as you type, I want the label to be printed here. Like for example, give an email address and check whether the email address already exists in the database or not. Okay, so as you finish typing your email address here or username here, I can find out whether that username is available or not from the database. Okay, in that case, this is the control which triggers the update, because as I type in the text box, it's going to the server and fetching it. So this is the control which triggers the update, and this will, the label what you see right next to it is the control which gets updated or affected by that particular trigger. Okay, so remember that. Now in this case, instead of putting one control inside the update panel, I can easily put the entire table, this small table, inside an update panel, because only two controls are there. It is not a big deal, but then imagine a bigger program, then I want you to create separate update panels for each. So let me just drag and drop an update panel. Okay, in the design itself, let me just drag and drop an update panel. Please note, I need to make sure that the controls which are triggered as well as the controls that are affected must be inside. Since there is only few controls, let me put this entire table, okay, inside the update panel. Okay, and let me go and check the code, how it has come. Okay, the code will be looking like this. Let me just hide this. Oh, sorry. Okay, here you see, update panel is the control. Inside that there is another keyword called content template. Okay, so there is a content template. Inside that you have the table. All right, so if you see, the code should look something like this. Okay, please note, since it's a small form, I've put the entire thing inside the update panel. If it is only two controls, you can still put only two controls inside the update panel. I leave it up to you guys. Okay, so now I have an update panel which holds the controls which trigger the action as well as the control which gets affected by the action. Okay, so all are there inside the update panel. That's all. Now I'm going to run this. Please note, I did not write one line of code for this. All right, all you need to do is to understand that concept. That's why I focused on that PPT a lot. Okay. Let me run the program now. Okay, so there is some issue with that particular part. So he said control something of type script manager must be placed inside a form tag with run at server. Okay, so these kind of errors might occur in a program. Let's find out how to fix this. So let's start with this. Okay, control of type script manager must be placed inside a form tag with run at server. Let me go back here. Okay, so please note where is my script manager located and what was the error. The error said that the script manager should be inside a form which runs at server. So I'm going to just copy this, put it below. Now you find out where actually the system is expecting you to put the script manager. I had put it in different places, but none of that threw an error. But when I ran, the program says that I want the script manager to be inside a form which has run at server as an attribute. That's all. So let me run the program once again and check if it works. Right. So now I've got the program. I wanted to still focus on the same place where I told you while I'm writing this particular code. Let me write name. So let me just put some name and click on say hello. Please note no refresh, nothing, but I got the output. Okay. As I type whatever I keep there, I click on say hello. Please note this part of the system. Okay. There is no refresh. It is not a full page refresh. Rather, it was a partial page update. Only part of this particular page is getting updated, not that entire page. Which means the page reload does not happen. Now your browser thinks it's the same page. But earlier when I clicked on submit, this page 1 went to the server, came back as page 2. Here I clicked on say hello with whatever name I typed there and click on say hello. It only updates this part because it is taught as form. This form has updated, not the page. Okay, now this is very efficient in a bigger program. I have shown you a smaller program. That's all. Okay, so let me just go into this program what we had done. Okay, this is fine. Okay, let me do another one to explain update progress. All right, so now please note whatever program I do right now might not trigger so much of time. Okay, it might not take much time. So what if when I click on say hello, I put the thread to sleep for some time. Okay, which means I'm purposely delaying my program before I show the result. So how do I do that? Okay, I can use thread. Please note by default thread is not allowed to be accessed without using your the namespace. So I'm going to just open thread. Okay, just give me a moment. System.threading. Okay, that should be imported. Once you have imported that, then you can start using thread.sleep. All right, so sleep requires milliseconds in time. So let me just give 5000. Okay, which means sleep for 5 seconds, then print this label. Okay, which means what I'm saying here is when you click on submit, don't immediately give me response. Okay, as soon as you click on submit, the first line of code is wait for 5 seconds, then print this particular thing. So now let me run. Let's see how the program works. And then I'll use the progress to show you what is happening. Okay, so now I'm going to type a name. So let's say Akhil, and let me click on say hello. All right, please note what is the first code I've written when you click on say hello to sleep for 5 seconds. Please note it waits for 5 seconds. All right, so the thread has been put to sleep for 5 seconds. After 5 seconds, the label comes. I hope you follow, which means I've purposely triggered a delay. Okay, now imagine this purpose delay is changed into your network delay. Right now I'm purposely doing because I don't have a network delay right now. Okay, but what if my network had an issue and it took so much time? In the meantime, what will the user think after clicking on say hello? Okay, see, first time I'm running this, I put some name. Okay, and I am going to say click on say hello. Nothing is happening. Please note my page is blank and no response, nothing. So what the user will normally do, he'll go and refresh. By that time, if it is not working, or he might stop the program from executing, or he might just reload that page entirely once again. So what is the proper way of making sure that the user does not do anything while I do an AJAX transaction or an AJAX work is happening in the background? I don't want this user to think that I'm not doing anything. I want to show some progress to the user so that the user does not think that my system is not doing anything. So for that purpose, I use an update progress. Okay, so let me go back and here, let me bring the toolbox once again. Okay. So let me put the update progress in that particular place. Okay, wherever you want, you can put an update progress. Okay, it should be mapped to your update panel. But anyway, let's put this. And inside that update progress, I'm going to just type the word. I can put image here, which shows that loading screen and all those things. I am just writing this one. Please wait while we process your request. Okay. I'm just typing it in words right now. Instead of the place where I've typed the words, you can put an image. Okay, you can put a GIF file which loads, which shows that loading screen and etc. etc. That you can try. Okay, so let me run the program and check if it works. What is the use of update progress? Okay, please note while I'm running the program for the first time, okay, if the program works properly, I'm not supposed to see this progress at all. Okay, please note, please wait while we process. Nothing is displayed in the user. Okay, let me just type a word there and then click on say hello. Okay, I get this progress while that 5 seconds delay is happening. And once that delay is done and the output is come, that progress goes away. Okay, this is an update progress. I hope you guys follow. Let me stop it. Let me just put this right below that label. So let me just take this update progress. I'll cut that. I'll put it just below that label so that it is clear to you. So in the same place, I put update progress. All right. So now let me run this. You see what is happening is meanwhile, while the request has been processed using AJAX in the background, if you would like to show some update or progress to the user, then we use an update progress control. Please note this form is very decent now. Nothing is there. So let me just type a name. Okay, so I'll just put Hansel and click on say hello. All right, please note what happens in the meantime when I click on this. 5 seconds I've created a delay, which means in the background process of AJAX, 5 seconds nothing is going to happen. So which means something is happening in the AJAX module of my system. I can show a progress. Please wait while we process your request. And after 5 seconds, this should go and then I should get my result. I hope you guys understood this, right? This is the advantage of using an update progress. Now, instead of the text, you can show an image. Okay, what image? That loading image. You get AJAX loaders on the internet. Just search for AJAX loaders. You will get that loading images. I think you can just search in Google with AJAX loaders. Okay, so you'll get a lot of AJAX loaders like this online. Okay, you can get it. You can get nice GIFs, whichever you want. You can use that. Okay, a lot of GIF files are available in which you can use. Okay, so you can just copy one of these images and put it here in the place of an update progress. So instead of this particular thing, where inside the progress template, instead of this text what I've typed, you can put an image. So that image will be shown while you are working. Okay, that progress or something like that, you can do it. Okay, so this is update progress. I hope this is clear to you guys. Okay, now I'm going to show the last one, which is timer. Okay, so let me use that. But before that, I hope you guys have understood these two controls. What are they required and how do we use them? I'll apply them in the already existing program shortly. But before that, let me create or let me just keep this away. And okay, in the same page, I'll write. Okay, so imagine at this particular part. Okay, I am going to create, this is just to explain the use of a timer, guys, but then there are a lot of other uses possible. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, here, I'm not going to use a table. I'm just going to just drag and drop two controls. One, a label. Okay, what I want in this label is nothing but time. What is the current time? I want this label to print the current time. Okay, nothing else in this page. I just want this label to print the current time. Okay, which means as soon as the page loads, I want this label to give me the current time. Do you follow? All right, so I'm going to click on properties. I'm going to name it as LBL time. Okay, and text, I'll just leave it blank right now. Okay, because I'm going to programmatically display that text. Let me just change the color and size. Okay, so I'll just change the size to large. Okay, and let me just change that color. For color, let me keep it as red. Okay, so that this is my code. Okay, so let me just put it as right. So now, as soon as this page loads, I would like that label LBL time, okay, dot text is equal to, okay, I'm going to call inbuilt function date time dot now dot to string, or I can put it as to long date string or to long time string, whatever it is. Okay, I'm going to put to string. Let me see what comes as the output. Okay, let me run the program. Please note I'm doing this to explain the use of a timer later, but right now these are without a timer. Okay. Right. So it is displaying the date and the time. Please note time with seconds also is displayed. So this is what I've got as an output as soon as you run the page. Okay. So now I'm going to change something like, for example, I'm going to put something here. Okay. And click on say hello. Pardon? Who's that? Valerie, yes. Oh, it was a mistake. Okay. Fine. All right. So please note, where did I stop? Okay, let me start from the beginning. So here, I've started with, I just refreshed my page. So I got a new time here, 11:45:01 a.m. Okay, I'm going to type something here and click on say hello. Okay, please note, please wait. All those things are happening. I'm getting the result here. It is not affecting what I've written here. The first time, the very first time the page loaded, the time has been displayed. But after that, whatever AJAX call you're doing, or maybe your page reloading here without touching that is post back, please note this should get refreshed, which means when I refresh it now, I get the different time. I refresh it now, I get a different time. Refreshing it. Do you see what is happening? Now imagine I would like to display that time, every second. Okay, every second I want this time to get updated. So what will happen? This word will keep changing. Okay, this will keep changing, and then this will keep changing, then this will keep changing. It will go on like this as long the program is running. So basically what I want is, I want this time to get updated. Right now what I'm doing is I have to go and refresh my page to get the new or latest time. So how do I fix this? Okay, I use the timer control, but please note I'm going to use the timer control without AJAX first and then with AJAX. Okay, so I'm going to go to the toolbox. Let me go here and I'm going to drag and drop a timer. Okay, please note I put a timer, and I'll go to the property of that timer. You can see there is some property, very important property here. Timer, I'll leave it as timer 1, let it be there. Okay, what is the interval here? Please note interval is in milliseconds, which means what is this? How many milliseconds is this? 60,000 milliseconds. Okay, which means almost a minute, right? So I don't want that. I want this timer to trigger every second. So what should I do? Convert it into 1000 milliseconds, 1 second, right? So I'm going to just keep it as interval is 1000, which means after every 1 second, the timer should trigger. So every time the timer triggers or ticks, what do you want me to do? I'm going to double click on the timer to create a method. Okay. So every time the timer ticks, I want the label text. I'll cut that code. I'll put it here. Okay, guys, look at this code and try to understand what is happening. You have told timer every time the timer ticks. When will the timer tick? Timer will tick for every 1 second, because I've changed it to 1000 milliseconds, which means 1 second. Every 1 second, I want the timer to tick. Okay, so every time the timer ticks, what code will be called? This code will be called. Okay, now I'm purposely not changing any more code. I'm running it. Let's see what happens. Do we get what we look for? Okay, then we'll come back and understand one more concept. Okay, so let me just wait. On page load, nothing is happening. All right, and also with respect to the time, after every 1 second, the timer is getting triggered. Do you see that? Okay, but I want you guys to focus on this area also. Every time the timer ticks, which is after every 1 second, the timer is getting updated here, but your page will not be accessible to you. Please note, I'm going to try to highlight this page. It is not allowing me because every second the page is reloading. I hope you guys can see that. Okay, I'm trying to type a name there. I'm not able to type. Okay, the moment I type it, it's just taking my screen away And when I click on it, by the time that that happens, the timer is put on hold, and then again it continues. Okay, so but please know the page is refreshing every time. This part does not get affected because it's inside an update panel, but the page is getting updated every time I am trying to access it. Okay, please note here. I hope you can see this. So the page is getting updated every time the timer ticks. This is not what I want. I want it to happen using AJAX, not just the timer AJAX. Okay, so how do I do it? Let me go back to the design. Let me bring back that same logic. The control which triggers the update. What is the control which triggers the update? Timer. And the control which gets affected by that update. What is that? Label. Put these two inside an update panel. That's all. So I'll put an update panel. I'll drag and drop inside that update panel the timer as well as the label. Okay, let me go to the code and I'll show you. Inside the update panel content template, label is also there, timer is also there. Okay, so now let me go back to the design. What have I done here? I have just done AJAX. Okay, using that, let me just run the program. And now you see my label will work properly. Only one thing is my page will not get reloaded. Okay, my page does not get reloaded every time the timer ticks. Rather, only that part where the label is there should get updated. Okay, I hope you guys can see this. No update in the page. Page is looking very decent, very calm here. But when it comes to here, you see that the update is happening, which means every time the timer ticks, a new value is getting from the server, and I'm getting a recent time. Okay. In the meantime, this also works properly. Okay. So which is what we are expecting. And now the timer is not working because I put thread.sleep. And then once the thread comes back, then it continues. Okay. So this is timer. Okay. So what is the advantage of using timer? By the way, you're not supposed to use for every 1 second. I just showed to demonstrate purpose. Okay. So when do I use this? Now imagine that I'm using Gmail. Okay. So not only Gmail, any feed or Instagram post or let's say a bank website. Okay. So you want to show the live data, live balance, live posts. Okay. Or live mail IDs or mails. You want to show that. Let's say after every 10 seconds, you want to trigger. Okay, so what do you want to do after every 10 seconds? If you want to trigger, you can just change the timer. Let me just show you. Let's say I want to change the timer also. After every 10 seconds, I would like that. I'll just put one more zero. Okay, it becomes 10,000 seconds or 10,000 milliseconds, which is basically 10 seconds. So what happens? The timer, the time will get updated every 10 seconds only. Not every second, rather every 10 seconds. So now as soon as the page loads, the timer is triggered and the timer is enabled. After 10 seconds of time here, then the label will come. Okay. Yeah, it is there. Now after another 10 seconds, which means around 11:51:36, you will get the next update. Okay, because after 10 seconds, the timer will trigger C36. Alright, so it will go to the server, fetch the data and update it here in the update panel. So 10 seconds, it's now available as it is. Once it becomes another 10 seconds, 46. So your update is happening periodically in the background after a particular time period of interval. Okay, this is the timer control. I hope I've explained all the 5 controls, what are they required, except for one, script manager proxy. Let me show that where it is used. Okay, so I'm going to the program what we have already done. Okay, the specific place where I require them is update. If you see here, when you choose this drop down list, okay, the moment you choose this drop down list, I want this particular thing to get updated, right? So I want what do you call the drop down list will be the control which triggers the update, as well as these 3 controls are the ones which are getting updated or affected by that particular update. Okay, please remember that. Now what should I do? Sorry. So what am I supposed to do right now? Every time the user chooses the drop down list, I would like to go to the server, fetch, see what we have written, fetch whatever is there in the database and then put it in the corresponding controls. This is the server side code, but I want this to happen without updating my page. Right now, without AJAX, I'm running the page. Let's see how it works. So now when I choose the drop down list, I change the item in the drop down list. A request to the server is going in the background and you can see that the page is actually reloading. All right. So when it goes to the server, it fetches all details over that particular product and then comes back to the client and displays it in text boxes. That's what we had written. Okay. Now when I introduce AJAX to it, the page should never get reloaded, but I want my work to happen. So for right now, without AJAX, please note this part of the page. I'm going to choose data. The page reloads. Okay, which means request goes, server responds with all data available. So when I change this, you can see that there's a quick refresh happening here, and it is a little bit slower compared to the previous one because previous one was not with database. This is with database. Okay. So the moment I choose, I get updated values. I hope this is clear to you guys. So this is without AJAX. So now what if I would like to use AJAX in this particular page? It's very simple. You know the formula. Just go to the design. Okay. And please note, without writing one line of code, we can finish AJAX code, which is already there. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I need to use script manager. You remember how I use script manager, but please note when I go to the master page, let me open the master page for a minute. Look at the master page and let's go through here. There already is a script manager. Okay, try to understand this, guys. Update.aspx.cs or update.aspx, if you go to the source code, this is the page and the master page is site.master. Okay, which means whatever is there in site.master will be automatically included to update.aspx when you're running, which means already there is a script manager in the master page. So what am I supposed to do in the child page? Okay, in the child page, you're supposed to only use script manager proxy, okay, which will call the original script manager, which is there in the master page. So let me go to AJAX extensions and just drag and drop a script manager proxy inside the content of my web page with the master page. Okay, web form with master page. That's it. This is where we bring in script manager proxy. All right, so our work here is done. All right. If you are using a page without master page, just drag and drop a script manager inside the form tag of your body. Okay. If it is an individual page or a standalone page, but what if it's a page which has master page? Then inside the content of your child page, put script manager proxy, which will call the script manager in the script in the master page automatically. Okay. Please remember that. Okay. With that, our work here is done. Now let's go to update.aspx. Okay, so in update.aspx design, you see this is the control which triggers the update, because as soon as you choose the drop down, it changes, right? And these are the three controls which are getting affected by that particular update. But please note, only for these four. Why do I put only these controls? I can put the entire table because none of these are dynamic except this button, but we can ignore it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put an update panel in my form. Okay, and I'm going to cut the table. Okay, please note I'm cutting the table and I have to put it inside the update panel. Now, I'm purposely doing this for you people to understand that update panel cannot work. You can't put anything inside just update panel and /update panel. I'll just show you here for a minute. Look at the update panel here. Inside update panel, you are supposed to have another interior tag called as content template, without which you cannot put any control inside it. Let me show you how it works. Let me just put here and I'll put this table. Okay, there's an error. Okay, please note what is the error. It says the element table cannot be nested within the element called update panel. Okay, there is a reason for that. I'll show you why. Inside update panel, only two controls or two tags are expected. One is content template, the other one is triggers. Okay, so I'm going to write content template. And inside that, I'm putting the table. Now, there is no error. I hope you guys get the keyword here, update panel content template. Okay, so let me just run the program and check. Using AJAX in ASP.NET is as easy as this, guys, without even many lines of code. But if you have many triggers, like not one trigger, you have many triggers, then a little bit of logic is extra required. But I'll take a scenario like that later, not right now. Okay, let me just choose something. Please note, no update here. Check this part of my page. Okay, this part of my page does not, which means my page is still 1. When I choose pen or pencil, it gets updated without even a flicker. Okay, without even just a refresh in my page, I'm getting the data from the database without any, just like a desktop application. Okay, without any changes. This is the reason why we use AJAX. Okay, no updates here, and you can use multiple parts. Right now all my pages have one part only, right? Because one form, one page we are keeping. But in real world, in real scenario, you have pages which has multiple forms or multiple sections in one form or one page. Okay, so you can update each section based on your requirement. That's the idea, so that your application looks rich. Okay, also it works like a desktop application, quicker and faster, and in the background it does its work, not in the foreground. Okay, with this Ajax concepts are done, guys. I guess you can try with whatever we had done already.